Hey everyone, welcome back for another deep dive.
It's good to be back.
Today we're going to be unpacking the world of elevator pitches.
Oh, fun.
You know those concise, compelling introductions that are
Right.
designed to spark interest? Get you talking.
Yeah.
So our source material for this deep dive is a YouTube video from Market US,
Okay.
and it's titled, How Do You Create an Elevator Pitch?
Nice.
And we all know how important they are.
Oh, yeah.
But sometimes crafting one
Mm-hmm.
that really hits the mark can feel, well, tricky.
Yeah, it can be tough.
So we're here to help you navigate those nuances and walk away with some practical tips
I like it.
and some intriguing insights.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I think nailing an elevator pitch, it can feel like a very high-pressure situation.
Right.
Because there's this looming 13-second time limit
Oh, yeah.
that's often cited.
Okay.
Like the average time for an elevator to travel between floors.
13 seconds?
Yeah.
That's barely enough time to say hello. But is that really the be-all and end-all of a good elevator pitch?
Yeah.
I mean, what if you find yourself with a captive audience for longer?
Right.
Wouldn't it be a missed opportunity to not give a little bit more detail if the situation allowed?
That's a great point.
Yeah.
I think while that 13-second rule definitely underscores the need for brevity,
Yeah.
the true purpose of an elevator pitch goes beyond just cramming information into a tiny time frame.
Okay.
The real goal is to spark curiosity and invite a follow-up conversation.
Okay, so it's less about delivering a full-blown presentation
Yeah.
and more about piquing interest.
Exactly.
Like that story the Market US folks shared about literally getting kicked out of a trade show.
Okay.
Because their pitch was so effective and they drew such a huge crowd, they ended up blocking a sponsor's booth.
Oh, that's awesome.
I know.
Their pitch was so effective that it literally got them in trouble.
Right,
But think about what that tells us about a well-crafted pitch.
right.
It's about creating that buzz, generating excitement,
Yeah.
leaving people wanting more.
Yeah.
Ideally, they lean in and say, when can we meet?
Yes, exactly.
Right.
Okay, so how do we avoid falling into those common elevator pitch traps?
Yeah.
Using tired cliches
Right.
or overloading the listener with too much technical jargon.
Yeah, cliches are definitely a pitfall.
Right.
We're the Uber of
Right.
we're the Airbnb for
Yeah.
it doesn't actually tell you anything unique about the business.
Right.
It's lazy and forgettable.
Yeah.
And when it comes to jargon,
Uh-huh.
imagine trying to explain blockchain technology to your grandmother using only technical terms.
Oh my gosh.
You're likely to get a blank stare.
Right. It's all about speaking in a way that your audience understands
Exactly.
and can connect with.
Yeah.
It's about clarity, not complexity.
Yeah.
But isn't using a quick comparison, like the Uber of example, a good way to just quickly convey what your business does? I mean, everyone knows what Uber is.
While it might seem like a shortcut, those comparisons often fall flat. They oversimplify your message and fail to capture the unique value you offer.
Okay.
Instead, challenge yourself to articulate your business in a way that's both clear and compelling without relying on those tired tropes.
Okay, so we need to ditch the jargon, ditch the cliches.
Yes.
Got it. What about unnecessary personal details?
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes I feel like people try to cram their entire life story into their pitch.
Absolutely. Keep it focused.
Yeah.
A good elevator pitch is laser focused on the value you offer,
Right.
not on your personal anecdotes.
Okay.
You'll have plenty of time to share those details later if the conversation progresses.
Right. Okay, so we've covered what not to do.
Yes.
Now let's dive into the key elements of a truly effective elevator pitch.
Okay, let's do it.
So I'm guessing a clear and concise description of what you do is probably at the top of the list.
You nailed it.
Okay.
You need to be able to articulate your product, service, or company in a way that's easily understandable and instantly grabs attention.
So how do you walk that line between clarity and actually making it interesting? Because let's be honest, sometimes just stating what you do can sound a little dry.
You're absolutely right. That's where the next crucial element comes in the hook.
Okay.
This is where you get to be creative and inject some personality into your pitch.
Right.
Think of it like a movie trailer.
Okay.
You want to give them just enough to pique their interest without giving away the whole plot.
So it's about crafting a statement that makes people lean in and say, tell me more.
Exactly.
Yeah. And to go back to your point about sparking curiosity earlier,
Yes.
this hook is what's going to get them asking questions.
Exactly. It's about creating that element of intrigue.
Okay.
Instead of just listing features, focus on painting a picture of the benefits and value proposition you offer.
Okay.
How does what you do solve a problem or improve someone's life?
It's all about answering that unspoken question of why should I care?
Precisely. You want your listener to walk away thinking this is something that could benefit me.
Yeah.
Or this is a company I need to learn more about.
This is starting to make a lot of sense,
Great.
but it still feels like a lot to cover
Yeah.
in such a short amount of time,
Yes.
especially if you're trying to avoid sounding rushed
Right.
or overwhelming your listener.
That's where practice and refinement come in.
Okay.
It's about finding that sweet spot between conciseness and conveying enough information to pique interest.
Gotcha.
You don't have to cram everything into your initial pitch.
This is great stuff.
Awesome.
So to recap, we've talked about the importance of clarity, the power of a compelling hook,
Yes.
focusing on benefits over features.
Right.
We've also touched on the need to avoid common pitfalls, like clichés, jargon,
Yeah.
unnecessary personal details.
It's a lot.
I'm feeling much more confident about crafting my own elevator pitch now. How about you?
Me too. But we've only just scratched the surface. In part 2, we'll explore some real-world examples and practical tips from the Market US video to help you solidify your understanding of what makes a killer elevator pitch.
I can't wait. Stay tuned, everyone, because we're going even deeper in part 2.
See you there. Welcome back to our deep dive into the world of elevator pitches.
We're picking up right where we left off.
Yes.
Exploring those nuances of crafting that perfect, concise, and compelling introduction.
Yes.
You know, it's amazing how much we can learn about effective communication
Right.
from something as seemingly simple as an elevator pitch.
It really is a microcosm of storytelling, isn't it?
It is.
And in today's world where we're just bombarded with information from every direction,
Yeah.
the ability to distill your message down to its essence is more valuable than ever.
Absolutely.
It's about cutting through the noise
Yeah.
and making a lasting impression.
Speaking of lasting impressions, the Market US video we're diving into for this episode
Yes,
offers some fantastic real-world examples.
they do.
Should we take a look at a few?
Absolutely. One that stood out to me was how the Market US team refined their own elevator pitch over time.
Okay.
They used to simply say, "We help companies win government contracts."
Okay, that's straightforward.
Yeah.
But I can see how it might lack a certain pizzazz.
Right.
Did they find it wasn't sparking enough curiosity?
Exactly. It didn't quite grab people's attention in the way that they wanted.
Okay.
So they went back to the drawing board
Uh-huh.
and really thought about what would resonate with their target audience.
So how did they refine it? What changes did they make?
They shifted the focus to the benefits and added a touch of intrigue.
Okay.
Their revised pitch became, "We help companies win government contracts without the headaches."
Ah, I see what they did there.
Right.
Not only are they stating what they do, but they're also addressing a major pain point
Exactly.
that their potential clients likely experience.
Yes.
It makes you want to know more about how they eliminate those headaches.
Precisely. It speaks directly to the value they offer. It's a great example of how a small tweak in wording can make a significant difference
Right.
in how your pitch is received.
Wow.
Instead of just stating a service, they're highlighting the benefit
Yeah.
and creating that sense of curiosity.
It's like they're saying, we understand your struggles and we have the solution.
Exactly.
Yeah, I bet that resonated much more strongly with their audience.
Absolutely.
This really highlights the power of carefully choosing your words.
Yes.
It's not just about what you say,
Right.
but how you say it.
Absolutely.
Speaking of tailoring your message,
Yeah.
the Market US video also emphasizes the importance of adapting your pitch to your specific audience.
Absolutely. You wouldn't use the same pitch for a potential investor
Right.
as you would for someone you meet at a networking event.
Exactly.
Right? Think about it this way.
Yeah.
If you're talking to a venture capitalist,
Mm-hmm.
they're going to be more interested in your business model and your growth potential.
Right.
But if you're chatting with someone at a conference, you might focus more on the problem you solve and how your product or service can benefit them directly.
It's about knowing who you're talking to and what's going to resonate most with them.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like speaking different languages almost.
that is.
And it's probably so without saying.
Yeah.
But being genuine and authentic is key.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, people can spot a canned speech from a mile away.
For sure. Enthusiasm and passion are contagious.
They are.
If you're genuinely excited about what you're talking about,
Right.
it's going to show, and that energy is what's going to draw people in.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got our pitch tailored to our audience. We're feeling confident and enthusiastic.
Okay.
What are some other things to keep in mind when it comes to actually delivering our elevator pitch?
Well, first and foremost, make eye contact and smile.
Okay.
It sounds simple, but it makes a world of difference.
Right.
It shows you're approachable, confident, and that you believe in what you're saying.
Okay, so we're making eye contact.
Yeah.
We're smiling. We're letting our passion shine through.
Right. Yes.
What about pacing?
Ooh.
Should we be firing off our pitch like we're in a speed talking competition?
Right.
Or is there like a more measured approach?
It's definitely not a race.
Okay.
You want to speak clearly and at a pace that allows your listener to process the information.
Okay.
Remember, you spent time crafting this pitch.
Yeah.
So give your words time to sink in.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
It's about quality, not quantity.
for sure.
Okay, now let's say you've gone through this whole process. You've
Wow.
written and refined your elevator pitch.
Uh-huh.
You're feeling good about it.
Okay.
Is there anything else you can do to really nail the delivery? I mean, some people just seem naturally good at this kind of thing, but
Yeah.
for the rest of us mere mortals,
Yeah.
are there any tips or tricks?
Practice, practice, practice.
Oh, yeah, of course.
The more you rehearse your pitch,
Uh-huh.
the more comfortable and natural it will feel.
Right.
Try it out on friends, family, even in front of a mirror.
Okay.
The goal is to internalize your message
Yeah.
so that when the moment comes to deliver it,
Yeah.
you're not fumbling over your words.
That's a great reminder.
Good.
It's like anything else. The more you do it, the better you become.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground in this part of our deep dive.
Yes, we have.
We talked about the importance of refining your pitch,
Uh-huh.
tailoring it to your audience,
Right.
delivering it with confidence and enthusiasm,
Yes.
and of course, the power of practice.
Yes.
Before we move on, I want to touch on something we mentioned earlier.
Okay.
The idea that an elevator pitch isn't set in stone.
Yeah.
Can you elaborate on that a bit?
Of course, your elevator pitch is a living document.
Okay.
It should evolve as you gain more experience, clarity,
Yeah.
and as your business grows.
Right.
Think of it as a work in progress
Uh-huh.
that you continually refine and adapt over time.
I love that it takes the pressure off, right?
It does.
You don't have to have the most perfect, earth-shattering elevator pitch right out of the gate. You can start with something good and keep making it better.
Exactly.
Well, I don't know about you, but I'm feeling inspired to put all of this into action.
Me too.
How about we challenge our listeners to do the same?
I'm all for a challenge. Why don't you lead the way?
Okay, listeners, here's your mission for this week.
Ooh, I like it.
Take everything we've talked about today
Yeah,
and use it to craft your own elevator pitch.
that's right.
Don't be afraid to experiment.
Yeah.
Have fun with it.
Right.
To let your unique personality shine through.
That's it.
Remember, this is your chance to showcase your passion
Yes.
and make a memorable impression.
You got it.
Who knows, you might even end up with a crowd so big you get kicked out of a trade show.
Now, that's what I call a successful elevator pitch.
I know, right?
But seriously, folks, have fun with it.
Yeah.
This is your chance to really own your story and share it with the world.
We'll be back in part 3 of our deep dive to answer some of your questions.
Yes.
And explore even more advanced techniques. Can't wait.
Until then, happy pitching.
See you there.
Welcome back, everyone, for the grand finale
The grand finale.
of our deep dive into the art of the elevator pitch.
Ooh.
I like it.
So in this last part, we're going to go beyond the basics
Okay.
and explore some advanced techniques that can really make your pitch stand out.
It's like taking your elevator pitch to the next level.
Right.
Elevator pitch 2.0, if you will.
I like it.
We're adding those subtle touches that elevate your message
Yeah.
and leave a lasting impression.
One technique that I find particularly intriguing is incorporating storytelling.
Right.
Like even in a short pitch, you can weave in a narrative
Right.
that captures attention and
Yeah.
makes your message memorable.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking this ties back to what we talked about earlier
Yes.
about creating an emotional connection with your audience.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Think about it.
Yeah.
Facts and figures are important,
Yeah.
but stories are what truly resonate with people.
Yeah.
They tap into our emotions and help us connect with the message on a deeper level.
So instead of just like listing features and benefits,
Yeah.
should we try to create like a mini story that illustrates how those features and benefits come to life?
That's the idea.
Okay.
It could be a brief anecdote,
Okay.
a surprising fact,
Mm-hmm.
or even like a relatable challenge that you or your company overcame.
Right.
The key is to make it relevant to your pitch
Uh-huh.
and use it to highlight the value you offer.
So for example, if you're a software company,
Okay.
that helps small businesses streamline their operations.
Right.
You could start your pitch with a quick story about a business owner
Huh.
who is struggling to keep up with all the paperwork and the administrative tasks.
I've been there.
And then you could seamlessly transition into how your software solves that problem
Yes.
and frees up the business owner's time to focus on what they do best.
That's a perfect example.
Yeah.
By using a relatable story, you've immediately captured your listener's attention
Right.
and created a connection. Now they're invested in hearing how your software can help them.
This is great stuff. I'm already starting to think about how I can weave a story into my own elevator pitch.
I love it.
Now let's talk about another crucial element, the call to action.
Yes.
We've sparked their interest. We've
Uh-huh.
told our story now. What do we want our listener to do next?
Don't leave them hanging.
Okay.
A strong call to action is essential for turning a fleeting encounter into a potential opportunity.
Right.
It could be as simple as visit our website to learn more,
Okay.
or connect with me on LinkedIn to continue the conversation.
Yeah.
The key is to give them a clear next step.
It's like closing the loop, right?
Exactly.
We don't want to just leave them with a bunch of information and no direction. We
Yeah.
want to guide them towards taking that next step.
Exactly. And a well-crafted call to action makes it easy for them to do just that.
Yes.
It eliminates any ambiguity
Mm-hmm.
and gives them a clear path to follow.
I know even with all this great advice. Yeah.
Some of our listeners might still be feeling a little nervous about delivering their elevator pitch.
It's understandable.
What tips do you have for those who tend to freeze up or get flustered in those high-pressure moments?
It's completely normal to feel a little nervous,
Right.
especially if you're putting yourself out there
Yeah.
and sharing something you're passionate about.
Right.
One thing that can help is to have a few key bullet points or phrases
Okay.
that you can always fall back on.
Right.
Think of it as your mental safety net.
So if you lose your train of thought or you suddenly feel overwhelmed, you can always glance at those key points and get back on track.
Exactly. It's like having a mini script in your back pocket.
Gotcha.
And of course, as we mentioned earlier, practice is key.
Of course.
The more you rehearse your pitch in different settings,
Mm-hmm.
the more comfortable and confident you'll become.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground today,
We have.
from the basics of structuring a compelling pitch.
To some more advanced techniques like storytelling,
All right.
incorporating a strong call to action.
Right.
Now let's shift gears a little bit
Okay.
and address some of the questions that our listeners have sent in.
Great idea. I always enjoy hearing real-world challenges and offering some tailored advice.
Me too.
What do our listeners want to know?
Okay, here's one that came up a few times.
Okay.
What if my business is complex and difficult to explain in a short pitch? I imagine this is a common concern,
Yeah.
especially for those in highly technical fields.
It's a valid concern in those cases.
Yeah.
It's even more important to focus on the core value proposition.
Okay.
Strip away the jargon and the technical details and boil it down to that one key problem you solve or benefit you provide.
Right.
Remember, you don't have to explain how it works in your elevator pitch.
Right.
You just need to convey what it does and why it matters.
I think that's a really helpful reminder for all of us,
Yeah.
regardless of our industry. It's easy to get caught up in the details, but sometimes the simplest explanation is the most effective.
I agree.
Okay, here's another question.
Okay.
How do I make my pitch stand out from the crowd?
Hmm.
It seems like everyone has an elevator pitch these days.
Right.
So how do you cut through the noise
Right.
and make yours memorable?
This is where you really need to understand your target audience.
Okay.
What are their pain points? What keeps them up at night?
Okay.
What are their aspirations? Once you understand their needs and desires, you can position your offering as the solution they've been searching for.
It's all about finding that unique angle that sets you apart.
Exactly.
And don't be afraid to inject a little bit of personality into your pitch.
Just let your passion and enthusiasm shine through.
Absolutely. Authenticity is what truly makes a pitch stand out.
For sure.
Okay, here's another question that I think a lot of people can relate to.
Okay.
What's the best way to end an elevator pitch? We talked about having a strong call to action,
Yeah.
but is there anything else we can do to leave a lasting impression?
One effective technique is to end with a question
Okay.
that prompts further discussion. It could be something thought-provoking or even like a playful challenge.
Right.
The goal is to leave them with a lingering thought
Right.
that keeps your business or idea top of mind.
I like that.
Yeah.
It's like planting a seed
It is.
that will hopefully grow into a full-blown conversation.
Exactly.
And finally, we have a question that I think is on everyone's mind.
Let's hear it.
How do I know if my elevator pitch is actually working?
Ooh, the million-dollar question.
I know, right?
I imagine it's a combination of things, right?
Yeah.
It's not always about getting an immediate yes
Right.
or closing a deal on the spot.
Right. It's about gauging their level of engagement.
Exactly.
Like, are they asking questions? Are they leaning in, making eye contact?
Right.
Do they seem genuinely interested in what you're saying?
Those are all positive signs that your pitch is resonating.
And even if they don't immediately express interest,
Yeah.
don't be discouraged.
Don't be.
Sometimes it takes time for your message to sink in.
Absolutely.
Important thing is to keep refining your pitch.
Yes.
Keep practicing.
Keep putting yourself out there.
Right.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Well, folks, that brings us to the end of our deep dive into the world of elevator pitches.
Sad to see it go.
I know.
But it was a good run.
It was.
We covered a lot of ground from the basics
We did.
to advanced techniques. We even addressed some of your burning questions.
So I hope you've all walked away feeling inspired
Me too.
and equipped to craft your own compelling pitches.
You got this.
Remember, every encounter is a chance to make a connection and leave a lasting impression.
That's right.
So go out there and make those pitches count.
To make them count.
Until next time, keep diving deep and keep sharing those brilliant ideas with the world.
See you next time.